Welcome to the Pastel Society of Maine online exhibit. And I am Terry Lynn Dubreuil. I am also the show chair for this, and it's been a wonderful show. Tonight, we're going to run through all the paintings that were accepted in the show. Then we will have the special awards later on. And Aline, who is our amazing judge, is going to share her thoughts as well on jurying and judging. I do want you to know that we had over 400, well over 400 painting submissions to this show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. And the instructions were to have 100 paintings for the show. That means 3/4 of the paintings submitted we just didn't have room for them in the show. We couldn't fit them into the show. So thank you for understanding that because 1/4 of the paintings got in. But Aline did a wonderful job having just one painting from an artist, from each artist that got in. So there are no artists that got two paintings in. We wanted to give as many people as possible a chance to get their painting into the show. I also want to make a comment about when you submit a painting. It's important to read the prospectus. We have a small committee that goes through the paintings before they go to the jury to eliminate any that are not following the prospectus. And some of the items that pop out quite often are if they are showing in another exhibit at the same time. That can be a problem because if it sells in one exhibit, then it can't really be in another exhibit. It's also when you take a picture, you want to take a clear picture in bright light and you want to crop that picture clearly. You don't want any push pins showing. You don't want, the table that you set it on showing. You want just the painting. So do read your prospectus carefully because each show and each society has slightly different things that they're looking for. We're trying to make a more conformed prospectus across the board, but there are still different changes. So I just wanted to bring that up. And if you have any trouble, if you would all mute right now, that would be great. Thank you. But if you have any trouble, you think submitting a painting or you're not sure if you're doing it right, email us. That's what we're here for. We are your society, if you belong to PSME, and we're here to help you. So I appreciate everyone who took the time to submit a painting. When you're just getting going, that's very difficult, but it's very important because you grow through that. It's all a learning process. I mean, some of us, we can tell you, we can't how many times we did not get into a show. And you feel kind of discouraged because it's very personal, but just keep moving on. Feel that and then say, okay, what's next? What am I going to do next? And how am I going to grow and improve my painting? Because the world needs each of our voices in our painting. So thank you so much for taking the time and congratulations to those who got in the show. So now I'm going to switch over to Mary Beth. She is our president.
Hi, I'm really happy to see you. Thank you for coming tonight. And as Terry Lynn said, I also want to thank you for supporting Pastel Society of Maine's activities and events with your participation. It really means a lot to us. And our prayer for you is that you will be edified by our activities and our shows. I know we don't all get in, we don't all get awards, but it's part of the game really is to enter and to try and then to try again. I liked your message, Terry Lynn. That was very good. I want to just introduce our delightful Judge Aline Ordman. She is truly a delight. And I'm going to say just a few words about her. She,
Watch too much.
Aline's education is, she received her Bachelor of Fine Arts at Cornell University. She continued her training at the Academy of Art College in San Francisco and earned a degree in illustration. She is a master pastelist with the Pastel Society of America, a signature member with the American Impressionist Society, a signature member of the Oil Painters of America. She's an eminent pastelist with the International Association of Pastel Societies, we know as IAPS. She has juried many shows for PSA. She has appeared in Pastel Journal, and she has shown in their 100 animal and wildlife competition. She has, let's see, she has juried the Pastel Society of New Mexico's annual show and the Adirondack Plein Air Festival Awards. She has a very full past in art activities, and I can vouch for Aline that she is a wonderful teacher. She says she likes to teach. She likes to teach most. So, and we found out that she's wonderful. We've just had her for the most fun workshop, 3 days in Brunswick. We had a good time with her. She's wonderful. So Aline's work has been accepted in national juried shows of the American Impressionist Society, the Pastel Society of America, the Oil Painters of America. She does teach workshops everywhere. You just invite her. And she is represented by many galleries in the Northeast and in other states. So she has a really good website. You can reach Aline anytime you want. And we loved her coming to judge our show. She was very focused and she got the job done. 400 paintings is a lot. Oh, I'm going to pass this over to Aline because she wants to tell you what it's like to be a judge of a big show.
Thank you. Full disclaimer, yes, I've been accepted to many of those society shows, and I've also been rejected from many of those society shows. So I feel everybody's pain. I don't need to reiterate the wonderful statements that Terry Lynn made about how hard it is when you're not accepted. You have no idea how hard it is as a judge to not accept. It breaks my heart each time. I know that I have to do it, and as I said, I feel your pain. I also was going to talk about the technical issue. If something's out of focus, it could be a nice piece, but if it's out of focus, I'm not necessarily going to be able to accept it. After that, I look at the basics of design and color and technique, and sometimes a piece has very nice color, but the design can be a little bit bland. Most importantly, I look for a really strong opinion. And I have to say, this was a great show. I mean, it was not hard to come up with 100 pieces. Sometimes it is. It was not hard to come up with 100 pieces, only having one from each
Thanks
artist.
a lot. You didn't
But
judge me in.
that's what I always try to do. Whenever possible. I like to give everyone as many opportunities to show their work in a juried show. But when I talk about a strong opinion, that's probably the thing I look for the most. And it's hard to explain all the time what that means, except to say that paint something you love, not just something you see, but something you love. Because a piece doesn't necessarily going to grab me because it's the best drawn or the best designed even or the most technically proficient. Usually it's going to hit me because there's something about it that speaks to me because that's what the artist saw and that's what the artist felt like doing. So that was kind of my criteria. I'll talk about each piece that won an award and why that is, but you guys should feel really proud of the work you're doing because this was probably one of the highest level shows of a society that I've ever juried. And it was my honor to do so. So thank you.
Thank you.
Someone else
Uh,
can take over.
That's
Thank you, yep.
that's very nice. Thank you so much. Now we're going to go run through all of the images from the show. Terry Lynn is going to organize that. And I want to read to you the artist names. Okay, this is Pam V. Oggensmith, Beach Road. Andrew Anderson Bell, Ames Knob Sunset. Patty Arbino, The Bounty. Joy Becker, Lunch Break Bruges. Laura Beckering, Flights of Fancy. Bithia Bierman, Urban Rails. Tim Blackwell, Still Waters. Lindy Blosser, The Meadow. Christine Bodner, Dune Days. Sharon Boisvert, Below the Falls. Marcia Brandwine, Abandoned. Terry Brooks, Pedestrian Crossing on a Snowy Evening. Holly Cannon, Sunset Pelican. Diane S. Carbone, Golden Hour. Charlene Carrillo, Swanning. Now, Diana, forgive me if I say this wrong. Diana Coyden, Mom's Picture of Color. Sam Collette, Brain W. Carol Corliss, Tempted Yet. Nancy Culver, Cash in Pursuit. Susan E. Cuniff, The Reader. Excuse me. Cheryl Dawn, Ocean Motion. Allison Davidson, Summer Haze. Christina Davis, Rhapsody. Bernadette de Cesare, Geranium Delight. Keith Demanche, Evening Path. Teresa DeSev, Her Firstborn. Katie Despo, Untamed Curls, Untamed Spirit. Jiao Dong, The Maiden Rowena. Terry Lynn DeBroy, Hydrangea Way. Diane Dykstra, Tea Time Walk. Wolfgang Ertl, Black Skimmers at Sunset. Joelle Feldman, Sunny Winter Day at Oxbow. Alan Fink, Portrait Commission. Sally Fortin Francis, Great Neighbors. Irina Furman, Dreams in Blue. Wendy Gellart, Morning Mist. Renee Gallipo, Seaside Solitude.
Kind of odd. She's just like reading the name.
Please, please mute yourself if you haven't. Thank you. Claudette Gamache, Low Tide Popham Beach. Dinah Gardner, Sunny with a Chance of Waves. Mary Ellen Getz, Behind the Scene. Jim Hallenbach, Nanta Hala Forest. Tatiana Harbakuskaya, Portland Scene. Cheryl L. Hardy Faraci, Deer Isle Cove. Catherine Howe, Springtide. Francis R. Hoffman, Stewart Falls. Jan Hutchinson, Stillwater. Pam Ianazzo, Celebrating the Sun. Diana Johnson, Dancing Beach Leaves. Janet E. Johnson, Stick a Fork in It. Sean Del Joyce, Three's a Crowd. Laura Wynn Kane, Limelight. Bill Kaufman, Coachella Acid. Heather Couts, Feline Grace 2. Marilee Klosterman, Snowplow Weather. Charlene Knight, In the Beginning. Linda Kravitz, LeBlanc Secruz. Elizabeth Laflamme, Toison de Feu. Catherine Lapointe Volmer, Hidden Highway. Suzanne E. Larkham, A Rain of Salt. Shuck Susan Lee, Vivaldi's Winter. Terry Lefferts, Glacial Tumble. Mina Levitt, Taste of Maine. Yu Chen Lin, A Beautiful Day. Susan Lyon, A Devotee to All That Is Light. Karen Makowitz, Low Tide in Southport. Yale Maimon, Sunkissed. Denise Maddock Krupa, Sweet Pea. Andrew McDermott, Robson Street Shoppers. Mary J. McInnes, Cold Morning. Mary Elizabeth Moores, Sanctuary. Billy Morrow Way, Brooklyn Winter Sunset. Marybeth Morrison, Beaded Chain. Indy Moss, Return to Bar Harbor. Gloria Bagley Munson, Cacti Energy. Amy Norton Benfield, Rush Hour. Sarah Ostrov, Great Falls, Virginia. Mary Ann Pauls, A Slice of Prairie. Suzanne M. Payne, Coastal Rocks, 3. Karen Eileen Peck, Roadside Gem. Angelina Penev, Poetic Transformation. Heather Quay, Tickets. Chris Reed, On the Rocks 2. Lorraine Roberts, Endless Journey. Terry Levine Rosenblum, West 80th Street, New York City. John Sherry, Steel and Sky. Jennifer W. Shuey, Poe Patty Tunnel. Pamela Sorensen, Wyeth Home, After the Storm, Monhegan, Maine. Michael Owen Story, Tinge of Compliments. William Sweeney, The Last House Call. Tamara Swindler, Where the Light Lingers. Denise Theodores, Cloud Dance. Marcia Tidy, Waiting. Anu Vedagiri, Interlocked. Mira C. Vittarello, Renewal Amidst Decay. Robert Walter, Autumn Layer Cake. Feng Wan, Ordinary People's Residence, number 3. Avon Waters, Light and Air on a Lazy Day. Nina Welford, Cloud Pool. Phyllis S. Wiley, Golden Hour, Coates Island. Cynthia Wojtyla. Oh, hello there. And that is our show. 2025, pastels only. It is our custom to give awards at these juried shows. And we've asked that Aline would award 9 awards in particular this year. They are, she will go through them, but I'll just inform you that, remind you what they are. We have a first place, Best in Show, $1,000. Second place is $750. Third place is $500. President's Award is $200. We have a Memorial Award. It's $150. And we have society awards that are reciprocal awards. We support other societies and they support us so that we can share awards with you. And they are the Pastel Society of America, Connecticut Pastel Society, Pastel Society of New Hampshire, Central Massachusetts Pastel Society, and the Pastel Painters of Cape Cod. Each of those awards is $100. Our Memorial Award this year has been in honor, will be given in honor of our dear friend departed just recently, Lorinda O'Connor. She was a wonderful teacher and a spectacular artist. She won awards everywhere, and she was taken too soon due to illness. And we have missed her since she's gone. But Terry Lynn has prepared a beautiful tribute video of Lorinda to share with you. Thank you, Terry Lynn. That was beautiful. And we loved Lorinda. She was a great friend to us. Now, at this time, we're going to ask Aline to make the awards and give you her judges' comments on each picture.
Okay, this was the Pastel Painters Society of Cape Cod Award to Tamara Swindler. I'm going to read what I wrote when I saw it, even though it sounds a little dry when I just read it, but I think that's the best way for me to tell you what I was thinking at the time. And I just want to say again, before I did this, awarding this show was really hard because there were so many others that I wanted to give awards to as well. That's how really high end the work was. So okay, at first glance, I knew I liked this image, but I didn't yet know how much. As is true of several of the pastels here, it drew me in more and more each time I looked at it. A seemingly simple, ordinary landscape at first glance, I realized it was so well designed and has such a good combination of subtle and intense colors. The path takes you back, creating a wonderful perspective that defies its small size. The sky also has such lovely subdued colors towards the horizon. The yellows, the pinks, and blues creating a wonderful foil for that intense orange sunset that then quietly goes into the purple. A sky that gives us both drama and rest. Finally, the echo of the colors of the sky and the ground vegetation completes this beautiful painting. And I just want to add that, again, it could seem so simple. I see a lot of paths in the wood, but as is true of a lot of them, every time I got to it, I just had to keep looking more and more. And every time I did, I saw more and more about it that I thought was really wonderful. So congratulations, Tamara. And now and let me also say, totally anonymous these things were. As it happens, after the fact, it turns out I actually knew some of the people who won these awards or who got into the show. I absolutely did not know who anyone was. I didn't have any information. So this is the Central Massachusetts Pastel Society Award going to Angelina Penev, and I'm very happy to say that because it turns out I do know her. I see a lot of beautiful ocean scenes, great waves crashing on the shore. But this one caught my eye initially because of its point of view. It evokes the feeling that you are standing right there on the top of those rocks, looking down at the crashing waves. There's so much movement and noise in this painting. The design, the colors, and the use of pastel medium are masterful in this piece. The strokes give off so much energy, and they reflect the movement of the surf as well. Finally, I like the way white is used. Not a lot, not much pure white, just enough to bring you to that wonderful splash. So congratulations, Angelina. Okay, got to turn my page here. Hold on. This is the Pastel Society of New Hampshire Award. There is so much to love in this image. At first, it's designed not so much with objects, but with values. This painting is a great example of thinking in an abstract way that is just as shapes, but creating an illustrative narrative. There's a perfect harmony of color, the way the reds echo throughout, bringing us into the frame. I love how the figures on the right are mostly dark values, defined only by their legs and umbrellas, creating a wonderful group of people. The strokes and colors give us a wet pavement, and the broken edges of the legs have the figures emerge from the painting rather than looking like they were just sitting on top of it. I was especially amazed by how wet this all looked and what a sense of place it created. So, Andrew, congratulations. The Connecticut Pastel Society Award, Sharon Boisvert. I first passed this image by while I was scrolling, but when I started to look more carefully at each painting, I became enthralled with the foreground. The strokes and the colors bring such a feeling of movement over the rocks, but it isn't just the movement, it's the creative handling of those strokes, the combination of the soft edges of the water as it approaches the rocks in beautiful contrast to the sharper, more distinct strokes and edges of the water on the rocks in the foreground. This painting, like in many of the successful paintings, invites the viewer to see more and more each time it is seen. So congratulations, Sharon. This is the Pastel Society of America Award. First, let me just say, this is the first, when you go into show submit, this was number one. And like right away, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be an amazing show. So I like seeing a tree that transcends a tree, and it hits, the hits of red among all the greens and blues really give this painting a sparkle. This is a color feast for the eyes. But despite all the vivid colors, the values keep it from being garish, and the technique is diverse and lovely. The tree trunks and branches are put down with such authority of strokes, they play nicely against the softness of the clouds and sky. I felt like this just reverberated, and just sucked me right in. It was very beautiful. So congratulations, Jim. I'd also like to say that Lorinda is someone I didn't know well, but I had in a class many, many years ago on a Zoom, and she blew me away. And I thought, what are you doing taking this class? You're so amazing. She was just lovely. So it's an honor to be able to give the Lorinda O'Connor Memorial Award. This image totally attracted me from the start. Although it's less colorful than most, the design is incredibly appealing, not just for the arrangement of the buildings and the ground, but also for the way the minimum colors like the red and blue bounce back from the most prominent places in the foreground to the hints that appear as it takes us down that alley. The sense of light is so strong, once again bouncing off the alley with its yellowish green, bright light of the sidewalk to the awning above the pedestrian. This painting is so subtle and yet so intriguing. And now that I know what its name is, Ordinary People's Residence, I think it has even more of a powerful statement to make. So congratulations, Thing. It's to you, our president.
Okay, so this is the President's Award, and it goes to Teresa Desev for her firstborn. And these are my comments. This painting persuaded me to return to it with its limited color scheme, which draws attention to the light and dark patterns of the composition. For seated figures, it has a sense of movement and energy, with the varied hard and soft edges leading us to focus on the tangent between two faces. I wondered at the relationship between the figures at first and about the chair they occupy, the light of the day. Are they outdoors? What is going on around them? The title gives reference to the fragment of unease a new mother might feel, mixed with the wonder, responsibility, and privilege of parenting. The old-timey feel of this painting and the fact that the portraits are not tightly drawn, but diffused enough that we can relate to them, help to make me wander in it, which is the best response to a good painting. I feel I could invite this painting into my living space, enhanced by its presence and point of view.
May I say something too? I was so
Yes.
excited when you chose this one because this was one of my favorite as well. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we get to the top awards. Uh, this is for third place, Wendy Gallert, Morning Mist. As with most of the images that win awards, this one caught my attention immediately. First, the mood and atmosphere of a peaceful, misty day brought me to a distinct place. But then the analysis of what works so well began. There is a subtle harmony of colors, from the yellow in the sky, the pink, and then the blues in the water, finally echoed in the rocks as well. The transition from the lost edges of the faraway water to the details in the foreground, the stillness far away to the movement of the water near the rocks is masterful. The more I looked at this image, the more I noticed, and that is a quality I look for in a painting. Congratulations, Wendy. Okay, let's turn it. Okay, at first glance, might seem nice, but not necessarily special. But when I enlarged it, I saw how unique it was. The design is wonderful, offsetting the fall so that nothing is really smack in the middle. The lost and found are the rocks, some more detailed, others just hinted at. But the clincher for me was the gorgeous purple color on the rocks alongside the left of the bottom waterfall. Because it is a bit more intense than the grays, it creates a feeling of light within the shadows. The sparing use of white also creates a feeling of movement. You can almost hear the splash as it cascades down. And this is one I thought, wow, I really wish I had been able to see this one in person, because I just kept looking at it and I could have looked at it forever. So congratulations, Francis. And finally, Marilee, congratulations on first place. I just have to say, every time I scrolled through, this totally arrested me, and it just stood out for me. I knew immediately it was probably going to win first place. I was drawn to the color and the light, and then to the atmosphere. I could feel the early evening light with the snow on the ground, that plow, so evocative of that time of night and year. And by the way, I didn't know it was called snowplow weather. I just knew that was a snowplow. The use of color is so creative. The snow depicted with so many colors and anything but pure white. I'm drawn to a painting that has a strong opinion and a point of view, and this has that. Not just any church with snow, but this artist's personal depiction of that. And mostly, I just have to say, I just love this painting. So congratulations, Marilee. And I'm done.
Thank you. Those are wonderful. Congratulations, everyone. Everyone that won an award, everyone that entered. Just really want to say thank you, Aline. I know what a hard job that is, judging. It's not easy at all. So it's a lot of work. And to all of those who supported and worked with this show, the committee and the people who helped go over the prospectus, thanks to Mary Beth. She's an amazing president. She keeps us all inspired and moving and helps organize amazing programs for us. And thanks to each of the artists that join. Thank you for sharing your voice. It's created this beautiful show of this pastel greater community, not just here in Maine, but just beyond into all the United States and Canada and any members that are foreign. I want to let you know, please go to the website link in a few days. The video from this show will be available. You can go to the next if you want, Indy. This is the list of the people who supported the show and did the work for the show. The website will also have the link to the YouTube video of this show. But if you get a chance, follow the link that goes back to Show Submit and go through the show, choose the ones that you like, focus in on them, and really absorb what the artist has expressed with their painting and see what we can learn from each other. Again, to the next slide. Yeah. Thank you again, Pastel Society in Maine. It's been wonderful. And back to everyone.
Terry Lynn.
Mary Beth.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Terry Lynn. Appreciate you. And
Jason.
it's been another show. This was our 25th, and it's 2025. So it kind of pulls us forward to keep doing it year to year when it's congruent with the year, right? So next year, we're not sure whether we'll be live or virtual, but please keep entering shows. Your work inspires other people, and it hopefully will inspire you to, greater excellence. And these shows confer credentials for your career and for your own use. So thank you. As far as our activities, you can always check our website and our Facebook pages and our Instagram. We are trying to remain active. We've got plein air paint out events this summer. We have a retreat coming up every spring in June. We try to stay current. We have a member show happening at the Curtis Library in Brunswick in November, and we would love to have all our members participate. So you'll hear more about that soon. And thank you everyone for your support.
Thank